أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. I will appreciate if brothers and if sisters are upstairs come more closer so that we can talk without mic. I really wish to talk without mic. That will help me to communicate heart to heart with all of you, inshallah. So I'm going to share some very interesting knowledge with you. This is not a speech, this is not a kind of lecture, this is just knowledge sharing. This knowledge sharing will be about what is happening recently in Japan about halal. But before that, inshallah, I will introduce some other important knowledge which Allah has shared with me. So I hope, being a Muslim also, we will learn from each other some more interesting knowledge, inshallah. So to introduce myself, I am Sayyid Akhtar. Originally I am from Pakistan, living in Japan since 1996. It's 21 years living in Japan. Alhamdulillah, with the blessing of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, I can speak Japanese language, I can read and write also Japanese language. That actually helps me to understand many other hidden doors of this beautiful book which is called Al-Quran. So how to relate the Japanese language with Al-Quran is very strange and interesting thing. So Allah helped me to understand more Al-Quran after I learned Al-Quran, Japanese language. I am a PhD in food science from University of Tokyo in 1999. So food science also helped me to understand more Al-Quran nicely, inshallah. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has blessed. You know, the owner of the knowledge is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And He shares with all those who are seeking that knowledge. Knowledge is of so many different types. It's about religious knowledge, it's about business knowledge, it's about food science knowledge, it's about another scientific knowledge. And as you know that all of you probably are from petroleum knowledge. So a lot of minerals are in this world about that knowledge. So knowledge is the ownership of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. How I learned this Japanese language is that one day I was walking in Japan, my first early 1 or 2 months in Japan, and some Japanese Christians stopped me on the street and they asked me, they want to preach me about Christianity. I said, okay. I sit with them 10 minutes, 20 minutes, but they realized that I don't catch even one single word what they're talking about. So they stopped their preaching, and after they finished, I asked them, now it's my turn to talk about Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala with you. I speak in English and they also do not understand what is happening. So at that time, that particular moment when I finished the meeting with them, I sit down there and I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that if you want me to bring your message to these people, please teach me this Japanese language. And then Allah really blessed me with the language of Japan, which is very, very difficult language. So today I'm going to share with you, recently in Japan, there is a lot of trend of halal is going on. So they are learning halal, they are teaching halal, they are doing business about halal, tourism halal, so many things. Government is involved, private companies are involved. How it is happening, before I go to that detailed knowledge, first I want to share with you some basic information of halal knowledge which I have learned through this process. I started this halal certification, but now I'm working as a halal certification body of Japan, like a JAKIM of Japan. So I started this work in 2010. When I started the work, I was a PhD in food science, but I really didn't know very much relationship of halal and Islam and food science and all those things. But while going through this process of learning from, first I learned from Singapore, then I went to JAKIM office, then I went to MUI Indonesia, and around the world what is happening about halal. So slowly knowledge Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has shared with me. So I wish definitely to explain to you about this very important topic. After, I'm sure that all of us here sitting here are Muslims, and alhamdulillah, all of you are very practicing Muslim, inshallah. But we do our religion of Islam, we limit our religion of Islam or religion knowledge only to pray, fasting, Hajj, Umrah, Zakat, and then we think that is all. But if we go more deeper in understanding, if we do the research on Al-Quran, which Al-Quran invites us many times by saying is tafakkur and tadabbur. Do that tafakkur and tadabbur. Tafakkur is thinking, tadabbur is doing. So thinking and researching is very important. So what I have learned through what is human being is a simple machine. Human being is an animal. There are two positions this human being carry. One is, this is a simple machine like a car, like a computer, like so many other things. If you will put the gasoline in the car, then the fuel in the car will move. Similarly, if you put the food inside the human body, this will work. If the machine become hungry, it stop working, or the quality or ability become less. Now, what kind of fuel is fit to each machine, only the engineers know that. Who is the engineer of human, the insan? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And this human position in this is a machine, the other one is an animal. What kind of animal is this? First of all, we call it social animal. Social animal means that we live in a society. We work together with each other, we care about each other. One machine interact with another machine, and then there are certain other actions happen. In case of this computer machine, a projector machine, or this camera machine, the problem is that if somebody will come and operate, then this will work, otherwise it will not work. In case of human machine, the better quality Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has put that it works by itself. Nobody needs to operate this machine. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has created the human machine in a way that it can reproduce by itself, it can mutate by itself. If you know the biological term, the reproduction is creating your own children, and mutation is that each child is different than the parents. The genetic information change to every single person, human. So that is why we have to understand that what is the position of human being and what is the function of human being, why Allah has created human being, and how the human being should interact with another human being. This is called human. The difference of other animals and human is that human is a social animal, and what kind of animal is? Allah has given the freedom to this animal. Like if a lion, it kills a big animal, but eat only the portion what is necessary for that lion's stomach at that particular time. The big animal kill, but eat very small portion. Why leave the other? Because Allah controls the lion, that you have eaten your portion. Now leave it for so many other animals who cannot kill by themselves. In that, you go smaller to smaller animals and animals and animals, you will go until the bacteria also eat the same animal, which is killed by lion. The viruses also they eat the same animal which is killed by lion. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala controls the lion that you have eaten your portion, now leave it for others. Similarly is the goat. If you put goat which is eating grass only, you put on a very big ground of grass, full of grass, goat will eat only the portion which is necessary for the goat's stomach and will not go further. Sit there, will not eat. Why? Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is controlling that goat, that you have eaten enough for yourself. Now comes to the human being. Human being is a free animal. If you have the salary of $1,000, you want $5,000. If you have $5,000, you want $100,000. And if you have $100,000, you want unlimited dollars. Like owner of this Petronas building still want more. Why? Because Allah do not control you in this case. Allah has created you in a way that you are a free animal to decide for yourself by yourself. Even if you see the governments create the rules and regulations to follow like traffic rules, then they create the police also to control those rules. They also create the jails also to control those rules. But in case of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, who has created the rules, regulations for running a human life through Al-Quran, Allah did not put any tax office, Allah did not put any police, Allah did not put anybody else to check you. Allah has put yourself on your own check. You are the police of your own self. You are the tax office of your own self. When zakat system, nobody knows how much money do you have. You have to calculate by yourself that how much money you have to spare to give to the others. From your savings, Allah has given simple formula, then you have to do it by yourself. So this kind of human being Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has created. Now imagine that a human being a machine who can move by itself, can decide by itself, can do anything whatever it wants, but without rules and regulations. If without rules and regulations this human being comes in the market, it will be the most wildest animal of the animals. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has created some rules and regulations to operate our life. The very basic rules and regulations are mentioned in Al-Quran. And Al-Quran is the book which we the Muslims usually take as a barakah. Let's read Al-Quran during Taraweeh. Let's read Al-Quran during Ramadan. I must finish one Al-Quran during Ramadan. My brother finished 4 times Al-Quran in the one Ramadan. So this is the way we have taken this Al-Quran in our life. Basically, Al-Quran is not a book to put on the shelves, is not a book to read during Ramadan only. This is a book to operate the human machine. If an engineer creates a camera, let's say, or a projector, let's say, you give this projector to any village in Africa and without any operating manual, how that person will operate, will push so many buttons, probably will able to put it on, probably will see the light, but will not know what is the purpose of this machine, and will also not know how to operate this machine successfully, that it should not break. For example, 220 volt should not put on 110, and 110 should not put on 220 volt. Only the engineer who has created this machine, the first machine ever, nowadays projector is common, but let's say imagine that first ever projector happened, only and only the engineer know how to operate that machine. And how he informed the customers who are using that machine? By an operating manual. In operating manual, all kind of instructions are written for, if you are talking about electricity, that how you put 220 volt in 220 volt only. If it is a car running on the gasoline, petrol, then engineer has told you that put on the gasoline. You will never know by yourself that diesel and gasoline, what is the difference. Both are fuel, both are running the cars. Similar cars running on the diesel, similar car running on the gasoline, petrol. So how do we know is through operating manual. Who has written that operating manual? Only the engineer. Nobody else knows that. In case of human being, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the engineer of this machine, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given you an operating manual to operate your machine. Your machine must be interact with another machine. That machine is a woman, let's say. If that machine is a woman, woman is the mother, woman is the wife, woman is the daughter, woman is a sister. How you distinguish between all this relationship, how you respect, how you behave, how you interact with that machine is written in Al-Quran. So the point here is that Al-Quran is and was actually the operating manual of the human beings, but we Muslims, first of all, misinterpret this Al-Quran. We taken it as a religious book. We have taken this book as a barakah book only. If I hold it, if I kiss it, wow, this is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will be happy for that. The purpose of this book was to operate the humans, and again repeat, humans, not Muslims. This book is not for Muslims only. And this book goes regardless of the time period which it belongs to. It was valid 1400 years before. It is valid until today's very computerized era, and it will be valid in future also. 1500 years after, it will be valid similarly. Why? Because this is not handling one particular nation. This is not handling or talking only about one particular race. This is not talking about one nationality. This book is talking about the psychology of the human being. How you operate this human being, that is what this book is talking about. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has created us, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has introduced us through this book. When Allah says, Ar-Rahman Ar-Rahim, Maliki Yawmiddin, this Maliki, all these qualities of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Allah is not praising Himself, Allah is introducing Himself to you. And Allah introduced Himself in every proper place in a very particular way, that all qualities of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned in this book on that particular place has perfect meaning. When you use Surah Fatiha on an everyday basis, the first 3-4 ayah, Allah is introducing you that what kind of God you are going to pray. Who is that God? What kind of qualities that God has? Then when Allah says, Iyaka na'budu wa iyaka nasta'in, in this, Allah is creating a relationship between human and God. And when you say, Ihdina Surau Al Muhsinin, now first you have created the relationship that God, I trust you that you have this kind of quality. Now I will ask your help always whenever I need it. And how Allah responds to your request is when you say, Ihdina Surau Al Muhsinin, after you say, Iyaka na'budu wa iyaka nasta'in, then the rest of the whole Al-Quran is the Surau Al Muhsinin. Whole Al-Quran, every single word, every single ayah, every single letter is the Surau Al Muhsinin, teaching you how you live the life. This is the relationship of human, what kind of human is. Now, to get the example of a human, you take a 2-year-old child. 2-year-old child you put in this room without any adult nearby. This 2-year-old child is a true representative of a human being, without rules and regulations. This 2-year-old child can move, can think, can decide, can do action by itself. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala put a lot of curiosity in the human mind. He wants to know everything. Like if he will touch this computer, this camera, what will happen? If I will push this button, what will happen? And during this curiosity, that 2-year-old human being will put his fingers in the electricity pole also. It's not that he wants to damage himself, it's just he wants to know what will happen. This type of machine human is. When he wants to know what happens, sometimes he will do the thing which is dangerous for himself. And when this human will be with this 2-year-old child, human will be with any adult nearby, or mother or father, there will be certain rules and regulation will apply. What kind of rules and regulation? That the mother will allow this child to do some things and will not allow other things at that same time. For example, if mother will be nearby, mother will give her paper and pen to write. You can write on this paper, you can draw a picture. But the same pen, if a child will take and going to draw on the wall, mother will say no. Why? The reason behind is that this is called rules and regulations. Developed by who? Mother. Why? Because she knows what will happen. That 2-year-old child doesn't know what will happen. We, the human being, are example with God. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is like that. We want to do many, many things without knowing the result, what will happen. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given us set rules and regulations. If you follow those rules and regulations, your life will be the perfect. And if this book will be a miraculous book that human being cannot apply on their life, then we can say that it's difficult, we cannot do that, what is written here. But Muhammad Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam when came, he came as a simple human being. And he performed this book in his life as a simple human being. Not a special human being. He was poor, he was without parents, he was working in a society, he was doing import-export business. He was the driver of the camel of that time. So he done everything. He showed that, look, I'm a very simple human being. It's not that I'm very, very special. Yes, he was very special, no doubt. He is our Ustad. But to perform this book, he has shown himself as a simple human being. When he got the prophethood, when he come to us, he talked to us, he did not say like, wow, look, I got the prophethood. He came with a scared feeling that I got a huge, big responsibility to convert this very bad Jahiliyyah society to a very great human society. So this is what has happened actually. This is what we have to understand, what is human, what is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Now, relationship of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, I told you. Now, why these laws are important for human being? To first of all to have it, and second of all to follow it. Rules and regulations, the laws are must for human beings. And secondly, we must follow all those rules and regulations. I am originally from Pakistan, now currently living in Japan, so I have example, I can give you these two countries. I know very well these two countries. In Pakistan, we are first of all Muslim society, we have Islamic rules and regulations. The second of all, we have a country running on a proper system. So country also has made their rules and regulations. And Japan country also is a similar type of country which has made rules and regulations for all human beings to live. Now what is the difference of this? That in 1960, the GDP of Japan and GDP of Pakistan was same. Currently, the GDP of Pakistan go down like this and Japan GDP go like this. What is the difference here? Only one difference what I found in last 20 years of life in Japan. That the human machines living in Japan, they are the rules and regulations followers. The human machines who are living in Pakistan, they don't follow the rules and regulations. Very simple formula, you can see that. Lying is common, under-table money is common, bribery, adultery, wrong politics, corruption, whatever you name it, social problems, all in Pakistan are there. Why? We are Muslims. We pray 5 times a day. Very regularly we pray 5 times a day. In my time, people didn't have beard. Now you go to Pakistan, everybody has beard. The difference of this system is that what our Quran says, if you do not follow those rules and regulations, you will destroy your own society. You will destroy your own social system. It is nothing to do with the God, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is holy, solely in charge and power of everything. He doesn't need you to believe in Him. If in this room 100% Muslims are there, no non-Muslim is there, because of you, Allah do not get stronger. In Japan, everybody is non-Muslim, because of that, Allah do not get weaker. Allah is Allah, powerful Allah. All the qualities He has mentioned in this Al-Quran, He has millions of years before, He will have millions of years after. What this Quran is going to create any effect on a society, if any society, including Japanese society, if they start following this Al-Quran without believing in Allah, their society will become better. And this is practically happened when the Rasulullah ﷺ has given the message. People understood that, people follow that. The first 200-300 years of Muslim society was the best of the best society ever of the human history of human being. Regardless of the religion, one of the poets of Pakistan says, when they meet among each other, they are the softest of the softest people. When they go and fight with enemies, nobody can be stronger than them. What was that? In the same human being body, in the same human being soul, the kindness is the best of the best, the hardness is the best of the best. This human being, mentally, it decides by itself that this is my friend and this is my enemy. So this is how this machine works. The laws and regulations are there must be there for human being. Like for example, I tell you the economic rules and regulations. The Islamic finance, what we call it. Islamic finance is a kind of financial system which is for the human society, nothing to do with the God. God has created all these rules. Why? Because when He was creating you, He knew that this machine, how it will operate. If you will become selfish human being and then the government is given in your hand, you will become the corrupt human being. If you train yourself first according to the Quranic rules and regulations, then the government is given to you, the money given to you, the responsibility given to you, you will not corrupt those all things. You have to operate yourself according to the Quranic rules and regulations. You have to operate yourself according to your operating manual. This is what usually we ignore. We the Muslims particularly, we are the believers of this book, we ignore. Now come to the non-Muslims. Why they don't read Al-Quran? Because we the Muslims have told them that this is our book, you don't touch it. You don't touch it without wudu, you don't touch it without believing. So you don't touch it, this is our book. So the non-Muslim says, this is the Muslim book, why I should read it? If that is the case, why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala addressed to human saying, Ya Ayuhan Nas? Ya Ayuhan Nas, Ya Ayuhal Muslimun, Ya Ayuhal Mu'minun is all three responsibilities of human being. If you are a non-Muslim, just a simple human being, this Ya Ayuhan Nas, this is your responsibility. It means convert to Islam, believe in Allah, worry about your future. Once you are converted to Islam, you become Muslim, then you become Ya Ayyuhal Muslimun under addressing of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And every single individual is addressed here in Al-Quran to you, directly to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, talking to you, not anybody else. So those kind of rules and regulations we should bring in our life, and we should understand, we should tafakkur and tadabbur, we should rules and regulation. Now one of the knowledge about halal is, I want to share with you, is about pig. Usually I am doing the halal certification, so usually I ask the ustad people, the teachers of halal industry, halal teachers, halal certifiers, halal auditors, that why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala did not allow us to eat pig. And if He did not allow us to eat pig, why He created pig? What is the special science behind that, or what is the logic behind that? So many people, particularly those people who are in halal industry, normal, I'm not talking about normal people, they say because this is written in Al-Quran, so we should follow the rules of Al-Quran. This is really Allah knows that what is the real reason, but we being the Muslim have to follow. Yes, you being a believer can say that. By birth you are a believer, you can say that. But once you are talking to the Japanese people, non-Muslims, then you cannot satisfy them with this answer. You have to search, you have to think. And when you think and you ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Allah share His knowledge with you. So this has happened with me. I come to this, that why pig is not allowed to eat. After very, very long time research, I'm a food scientist, I told you. I understand the biology. I understand the DNA. I understand within the DNA there is called chromosome. Chromosome is the kind of thing which brings the genetic information from parents to the children. It has a very detailed ribonucleic acid. It has inside which has the qualities of the parents, like for example hair color, like I am Botak here. Why I am here? Because my father was Botak. I have big stomach. Why? Because my whole Indian race have the big stomach. It's not that I eat too much, because the whole Indian race have the big stomach. This is something to do with the DNA genetic information. Now, what is the importance of this genetic information in the pig and human? You may be surprised to hear this, that DNA of the human being and DNA of the pig is 99% similar. And within that 99%, if you go more detail in the chromosomes, this is more similar to the human being. Okay, then what? If this much is closeness is there between the pig and the human being, then what? What is the effect on the human being? If that human being do not go close to this animal, then it will be okay probably. But if human beings start deciding that, okay, I want to eat this, so to eat this, first of all, that human being will raise, we say rear in proper English, is called rear the pigs in a proper form, animal form. When we have one human being interacting with the 20 pigs in that animal form, because our DNA is similar, our genetic information is similar, so one unknown virus will attack to the pig. This virus is the first time going to attack in any animal. Imagine that in the same form there is a cow, in the same form there is a chicken, and there is a pig. And then one human being is handling with this different type of animals. If the virus attack on the cow and create a disease, this will be unable to create, the same virus will not create a disease for the human, for pig, or for chicken. Why? Because all genetic information is different. Once it attacks, the same virus will attack on the pig, the first few days, 2 days, 3 days probably, is called incubation period, where this will sleep in the body of the pig. We cannot see the symptoms of the sickness created by this virus. Little bit body temperature raise. You know, when we get the fever, why we get fever? Because something, disease is going to attack on our body, and that body resists. Body create immunity. When body create immunity, then body temperature increase. So similarly, when virus will attack to the pig, the body temperature of the pig will increase, but we will not realize. Why? Because pig cannot tell us that I am sick. Pig cannot tell us that I have the fever, please bring me to the doctor. So that pig virus will transfer to the human body. Why will transfer to the human body? The reason is the genetic information is same. The virus cannot distinguish that this is a human or this is a pig. Virus can only distinguish between the genetic information that animal carries. So if the sickness transferred to the human being, now human being also don't know that I have already the virus. So he will leave from the village. I give example of Tokyo or Kuala Lumpur, let's say. He will leave from the village, take the train, come to the KL. Then ride the escalators, elevators, talk to people, shake hands with people. And he is a carrier of that virus. He is bringing that virus with him without knowing that I have this virus. So what will create the effect is that the whole human being live in KL, they got that virus. And this is called contagious diseases, which is transferable diseases to others. And if you don't believe me, go to the internet, search the pig swine flu. The history of swine flu is what I'm talking to you, like this happened. That from pig virus transferred to human, human went to the city, disperse that virus to so many people, and then it happened. Now Allah, when asking you not to eat the pig in one sentence, prohibiting for pig for you, Allah knows all the science and story behind that in advance, that this possibility will happen. So if this human being will go near to the pig, he will create this disease for the whole society. So in one word, one sentence, when it says, Lahm al-Khinzir, don't eat this, mean that behind the story of rearing and cutting and slaughtering and so many things will stop. So now the question arises that if this pig is that dangerous for a human being, why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has created this pig? Again, this pig Allah created to help human beings. How to help human beings? Again, the science is all involved. As I mentioned to you, that pig has the same DNA, same chromosome, same genetic information as human has. So first I told you that virus attacked the pig. Now imagine that the first time virus attacked the human being. Then what is the procedure? How we search the diseases? If a human being got a new virus, first of all, doctors will put that person, that human being, in one separate room. Nobody can go near to that human being. Why? Because we don't know what kind of virus is this. How dangerous virus is this? So doctors will do the research, will take the blood from that human being, will multiply the virus in so many different petri dishes in laboratory scale basis. Once they multiply the laboratory scale basis, under the telescope, microscope, they will check what is this virus. The qualities of virus they will check. So then they will try to create the medicine for that, antibiotics for that. Once they create the antibiotics, now they want to check that this antibiotics is working on this virus or not. So the normal procedure is they put the same disease on the small scale animals like rats, mouse. They put the disease in the mouse and then they put antibiotics also that this virus is working, this antibiotic is working on this virus or not. Now imagine that the mouse, in medical terminology, mouse weight and human weight is very much different. Body functions can be same, but weight is very much different. And then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created the pig. See, I told you the genetic information of the humans and genetic information of the pig is same, and how much is same? 99% same. How much is the similarity, importance, 99% similarities importance is that you can take the kidney of the pig and can implant in the human being. That much they are similar. If you can take the monkey or the, what do you call, the chimpanzee, which is a more closer DNA with a human being, if you take the kidney of a chimpanzee and put in the human being, you cannot do that. The reason is DNA is different, close but different. In case of pig, recently science, people are creating those pigs specially to make the heart, put the heart in them, grow that pig, take the heart and put in a human. Similarly, kidneys are doing some other parts of that implant, doing that much we are close to this animal. But when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's kudra, the power, the nature works, then how he do that? That human delivered the baby one time, one child, maximum 2 or 3 children. But in case of when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala want to help human being through pig, Allah gave 10 children to the pig. What is the importance of the 10 children as compared to the human being with the 2 or 3 children? Importance is that when you do the scientific research, you put the 10 similar samples, exactly similar samples. Now if the pig parents, like 3 children pig, parents are different, and then we take the 3 samples from different parents, and then we take the 3 samples from different parents, the result of our scientific research will not match. So that is why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave the 10 children to pigs, that you put the 10 samples in front of you, you put the disease, equal level of disease in all those 10, and then you put the antibiotics what you have created, the effect will be similar. Why the effect will be similar? Because the genetic information of these 10 children are coming from the same father and mother. So this is all, pig is there because Allah wants to help human beings to make their own diseases and own their medicines by yourself. So pig is najas in the meaning that don't go near to that. If you will go near to that, chances are you will get disease of that. But pig is important for you. How you rear this pig which we use for the medical research. In this case, if you know that, you will see that those pigs which are born, they will write down the date and the time when they born. They will control their diet completely. They will give them the 10 gram of blah blah things and they will write down that we have given 10 gram of blah blah things. So every single detail, it will be written, noted. And those doctors or researchers who will go close to these pigs, they will wear mask and cap and gloves and long clothing so that this pig should not affect by my DNA or my disease what I carry. And similarly, those pigs should not be affected by, I should not bring any disease to them. Whatever disease they have, let's say cancer research. Nowadays, cancer research, a lot is doing on the pig. So if you do the cancer research, and cancer is already there in the pig, if it was transferred to the human body, it's dangerous. That doctor can die. So we go to that in a very controlled environment. So the diseases do not transfer to us. So this is why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has created the pig. So do not hate the pig, but do not eat the pig. This is very important. Okay. I think prayer time is also getting closer, but I will try to go very short. The history of Japan, overall history, I will talk about that. And then I will talk about the halal in Japan. The history of Japan is that education-wise, these Japanese are very educated people since 1885. Their women go to school at that era. So in Japan, currently also, when people vote, they don't put the stamp on the picture. They write down the name of the person to whom they want to vote. Why? Because they are educated people, all of them. 100% educated. My kind of person want to get Japanese nationality. First, I have to learn at least the primary school child equal level Japanese language, reading, writing ability, then I can get nationality. The reason is, whole nation is educated. The second is manners of the business. Manners of the business is also very polite, very kind, very nice. Like when you go to meet them, change the name card, like Malaysians or Pakistani people give the name card like this, take out the pocket and hide, this is your name card, my name card to that person. But when Japanese people give, they put like this with both hands and very politely, respectfully, that this is my card and I will take your card also with same respect. And similarly, the other manners are a lot, like when they're going to say goodbye to you, you are going to sit in the car. So they keep on going 100%, like all the time, going all the time. Until the time your taxi or your car go away, they keep on going at it. Even my kind of simple auditor kind of person, when go to the big company like Nestle, the Nestle president kind of person come to the door and like my car go, the U-turn is very far, there will be hidden. So he will be standing there and doing like this. Until the time taxi go away, he is doing like this. This is called respect to the humans, other humans. Doesn't matter what nationality that person has, doesn't matter the color skin that person has, that person came to me, I have to respect him. So this kind of manners Japanese people have. The second is the samurai culture. I invite all of you to go to the internet and search what is samurai culture. And you will see that samurai culture is very, very close to Sahaba culture. The Sahaba time, whatever the culture they had, samurai also had the same culture. And they have until very recently, 200 years before. This, what effect the samurai culture is, the First World War, the Second World War. What happened is, the other nations, America kind of nations, they realized that this samurai culture is very strong in them. We have to break this. Then we can break the Japanese nation. And they did it. They changed their education system also. Now the Japanese are not samurai anymore. Now they are living and running the life with American culture. The dressing, if you see the 200 years old before, women of Japan, they wear the jilbab as Muslim women wear. And wear until here, like full cover. This is the Japanese ladies' dress of that time. And this is in the books, I can show you. I have the picture of that. So they are very close to the Muslim style of living. Then we go to Second World War happened, and after that they changed to American culture. Now you see the Asian ladies, Japanese ladies, they are half naked. Why they are half naked? Because whatever they have seen in the video, the movies, the styles, that is why. The same time, exactly same girl, you put her a Japanese kimono dress, it's a beautiful dress. It's a beautiful, respectable for the women. When she looks 10 times more prettier than when she is naked. So this is the thing that this American culture has really changed a lot in Japanese. Then about economy, I have mentioned to you, GDP in 1960s was same like Pakistan. Unfortunately, now Pakistan is really down, and very good is that Japan is very high. Now, what is the key word I have mentioned here? Brothers are sitting, sisters are sitting far, cannot see, but I read for you. Number one, as I mentioned before, they follow the law. Every Japanese person will follow the law, even that law is wrong for them. If you have time later, come to me, I can give you an example that what is that wrong law which Japanese all are following. Me being a Pakistani, even I don't follow the law which should be followed. So I have become better Muslim living with Japanese people. When I went to Japan first time, I have done my master's degree. I was like 27 years old. But I was the kind of person who do not follow the law. I drive the car in Japan without driving license. I'm telling you the truth. This is the fact I'm telling you. That by nature, Pakistani do not follow the law. Red signal, no value. No meaning. You go to Islamabad, the capital city, you will see the red signal, people just see right, left and go. And the second is they are very, very hard work. I have read one book written by an ambassador of Japan in America. He said that what was the difference of Japanese and Americans, that Americans were intelligent and Japanese were stupid. But Japanese people realized that we are stupid. What they did is that normal working hours are for 8 hours. American person can do the work in 8 hours. Japanese person can do in 12 hours. So what Japanese people do is that they increase their working hours without asking the overtime from the company. They start working for 12 hours, but never ask why, because, oh, this is my mistake, this is my weakness, that I was the person who was unable to finish the work which should be finished within 8 hours. Now it is, I should finish within 12 hours, I don't need extra money for that. So these are those things, honesty, never lie, never exaggerate the things like